close, was the moon. And we all know this one, right? Because it's like the first card that we ever got and we keep fucking getting. All right, so basically, Miss Moon here. She talks about our cycles, right? And going through them, having periods of darkness, having periods of fullness where we're just like super energetic and excited. So basically, every month our lives are renewed by the moon. So if she is in a phase of renewal, we also are in a phase of renewal. We have that same cycle that she does. So as she goes from being in a dark space, which very well could have been last week for most of us, when she goes from being in a dark space to gaining a little bit of light here and there, and then she gets to first quarter, and then she's in full moon, here she is born again, right? So from the darkness comes the light. So she is helping us to engage into our cycles of basically darkness, bright, darkness, bright. It's essential. It is a necessary part of growth that we do that. Push a seed, push it into the earth, right? Then a plant grows. That's the adversity we need. So basically it's the balance. So the moon is all about inner reflections and our inner world, right? Because she reflects the light of the sun so that we can see into the dark. And the dark is our subconscious mind, right? We should know this by now, yeah? So the light into our subconscious mind, which is, something we don't delve into too often, but shedding light there allows us to see the cycles that we have habitually made. The patterns that we keep engaging in. So if we're concentrating too much on rigidity, we are not in flow, we are not in our cycle, and we're like, I have to be productive, and it's a straight line, I have to do this, this, and this, or else I'm not productive, or I'm not going to be successful. Friends, she's here to tell us, let go of that linear bullshit. There's no fucking straight line that is going to magically appear and say, oh, you want to be there? And you're here? Oh, just do this. No! The moon is here to remind us of our cycles that happen constantly and to embrace them. So we have to go into the depth of ourself, into that dark space, which likely was last week or it's wrapping up into this week. We have to go in that dark space and see what it's saying. What do we need most to hear? Do we need to let go of our control? Do we need to step into trusting the mystery of life a little bit more? Do we need to let go of our fear and also trust in the mystery of life a little more? You know what I mean? It's all about discovering what is going on in there that's preventing us from living the fullness of our lives. So embrace the cycle and embrace that darkness. The other card that we got, I was very pleased to see this one. Can you see that? It's the Jaguar. So the Jaguar is like that fierce protector in the jungle, right? She's like not really a prey to anything else. So she is like the predator. And again, this whole fear thing just came up like I just said, like, oh, get over your fear. Yeah, she's showing us not to have fear in the jungle, basically. Fear and to have courage and tap into certainty. So with her being at the top of the food chain, she doesn't have anything to worry about. That's where we are. We're at the top of the food chain of our life. We can move basically beyond what confines us, right? Because we have the cycles of darkness, yes, but the cycles of radiance and brilliance and full expression as well. So when this Jaguar is here, telling us to step away from the boundaries, step away from this linear thinking that we're operating from, she's telling us to step into our trust, to step into that courage, that inner desire that we have to become ourselves, our deepest truth, to become everything that we have dreamed for ourselves, to achieve all of the goals. But we can't do it if we're stuck in fear, right? If we stay in the darkness, are we ever going to have that light that we seek? No, because stagnancy, staying and remaining in one space, will never allow growth. A seed that stays under the surface of the earth, will it ever become the plant if it's too afraid to break itself and then break the surface? No, it's always going to remain its potential, its unfulfilled potential, right? So Jaguar is literally telling us that even though we are reluctant to go to those dark spaces, because there is resistance, like we don't really want to do it because it feels like shit, we have to. There is so much wisdom in those places. You will find your conviction. You will find who you are and who you are not in the dark. You will find who you are when you put fear to the side and you go, I'm gonna fucking do this anyway. Because I want to find out what's on the other side. I want to find out what that's like. I know what the dark fucking feels like. And you know what? It's scary to leave it, but I've had enough. I've had enough, and I want more. I want to discover what is beyond that darkness. I want to now discover what light is like. I want to know what it's like to live outside my fear. Pretty fucking crazy, right? Outside my fear. That is what we are stepping into this week. Stepping into our courage, stepping into a piece of ourselves, a piece of our identity that we have not quite polished lately. But it's one that we have time to do so now with. Who are we? Who are we not? And who do we want to be? Big questions, because it's going to require us to step into that trust and that self-courage and to step away from fear. And having courage, let me just broach this real quick. Having courage means, as that famous quote goes, have the fear and do it anyway. Right? That's what courage is. That's the definition. Don't listen to the dictionary. Okay. The other part of this, the mantra card, it says, my emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. What? Can you believe this right now? This whole thing, this one sentence, just like summed up everything I just said in these two cards. Guys, this is real. Can you believe this? So perfect. So we are going to go through the cycles, whether we want to or not. It's going to happen. We're cyclical beings. We are always going to be met with these cycles. Oh, I wish you could see this. The moon's peeking through my window. I love. Okay. And by going through those emotions, what did I just say? We're going to find the truth of who we are. We're going to get to the core of it and the heart of it and say, I'm not that. I don't believe that. I don't want that. I believe this. And I want this. Right? Because I am this. Going into those emotional spaces is good for us. We need that. Okay, last card, because I have this new deck and now I just want to start using it, so I'm going to show it to you guys. This artist is amazing. Super difficult to show her cards, though, because they're crazy shiny, but beautiful artwork. So I don't know if you can tell, but those are like ropes and stuff. So this card is called Empathy. And it says to forgive yourself and others, to cleanse your body, mind, and environment of toxins. Be in stewardship of the earth. Be gentle. Be patient. The earth is healing. Okay. Empathy. Motherfucking empathy. Right? We need that shit. We need to be able to put ourselves in other people's shoes and to feel how they feel. So that when we encounter other people, they do the same. Because the more empathy we have, the more empathy emits in our vibration, and then the more empathetic and understanding and compassionate people we pull in. Not only that, but empathy is the key. There's not like one key, but it is a main key in working on yourself. Anytime you step into self-growth, like self-development, any of that self-inner work, you need empathy. You need to forgive yourself for the shit that you could not have changed otherwise. Empathy is what we deserve at our core. It's understanding that whatever happened, whatever we went through, whatever we did, however we reacted from there, we did to the best of our ability at that time. There's no changing the past. No matter how much we fucking put regret and guilt and all of these awful feelings surrounding it, no amount of regret will change anything. But a single moment of empathy for ourselves, a moment of forgiveness, takes away that toxic suffering of regret. It allows us to understand that we are human, we are growing, we were not as evolved then, and we're not holding it against ourselves any longer. Empathy is how we move from one version of ourselves to the next. Do you ever regret growing and becoming better? Well, no, of course not, because that feels great. But when you grow and become better, you leave behind this lesser version of yourself. This, oh no, that version is much shittier than me. Thank God I'm not that anymore, right? That's what it means to grow. We evolve away from that shit. But is it necessary to regret that we were ever that person? Or to condemn ourselves, to be like, oh God, I hate myself because of who I was? No, we just need empathy. Because growing is kind of our favorite thing as humans, right? So we're stepping into our cycles, stepping into our emotions, that darkness, so that we can find the truth of who we are. This week is going to be all about uncovering who you truly want to be. Maybe it's your voice. Maybe you have some really big things to say. Maybe your heart's going to open this week after being rigid for a really long time. Maybe you're going to let go of a lot of fears and step into that courage harder than you've ever stepped into it before. Maybe you're going to really stand up for something. Or maybe you're going to redefine the foundation of who you are. Who knows? But this week is literally all about self-discovery and allowing yourself the cycle of unfolding. The cycle of going from the darkness, being in it, sitting with it, and understanding that it's beautiful too, right? And then taking that beauty and bringing it to the light. So evolving from the medicine that you find, the wisdom that you find in that dark space. Follow the cycle. Allow it to happen. And get some movement around in there, you know? Trust the fact that you're courageous and you're fearless. Put on some clothes that make you feel like a badass. Strut your stuff to your favorite fucking song. Whatever it is. Do the thing that makes you feel invincible. Even if it's for like a minute. Just step into it and put like the sweater of courage on. Put it on and see what it feels like. Pretend again, right? See what it's like to test out your new life. Okay, my friends. So everybody does know my readings are available on my website, and so is the scheduler. So you can literally just schedule it in whenever you find fit. So my schedule is your schedule. Please use it to your disposal and book any calls in that you would like to. I have many different kinds of readings that are available, and most of them are an hour, unless you have you have pinched time and you need just like a quick okay, what the fuck is this? Help me out. I also have half-hour little blurbs available. But if you want to dive deep into anything, you can book those readings directly on my website under Soul Services. Go right in there, schedule it, I get the email, and we hop on. All right? Okay, my dearest friends, beyond that, I would also like to say, if you have any other friends in your friends list or in your immediate life that you think would enjoy our group here, these readings, this kind of energy, this kind of personal work, invite them in. This is meant to be a soul tribe kind of group. So the more people we pull in that are like-minded, the faster all of this self-development and healing is going to go, right? Because we're going to be able to listen to each other's stories and relate. It's going to be really good. So invite all your friends that you think would like this anyway. Yeah, not just everybody. Okay. All right, my dears. It was wonderful spending time with you. Thank you for joining me. And have a great week. And keep tuning in. There might be some cool stuff coming up this week. Bye.